Hi guys! Welcome to my channel. I am Duchess. This is my channel, Duchess Divinity. We do lots of different things here, but we mostly do pick-a-cards. This is my cat, Cornica. She's a sweet baby. But today we're going to do something a little different. I had mentioned before that I'm having a little trouble doing all the editing and uploading from my phone for the pick-a-cards, so I want to do a video that I've been wanting to do for a little bit. Of messages that I channeled to try and help people feel more alive and be happy to be alive. To be honest guys, I'm going to be very candid with you. Things have been challenging for me since I got some very devastating news in November. And I've been doing a lot of shadow work, and I've been watching my old life shed and fall away, and old ways of being shed and fall away. And currently I'm in a transition period, building back up to recognizing who I am and where I want to go for the next several years of my life, and trying to reestablish goals. And honestly, I've changed a lot. I've done a lot of shadow work, I've done a lot of trauma work, and I have changed because of that. And because of that, I'm trying to figure out who I am. I know who I am. It makes me want to cry. I know who I am, but sometimes it's hard to know who you are when you've spent a lot of your life traumatized. It's sometimes hard to figure out who you are once you've recognized a new trauma, or are working through old traumas, or just letting go of traumas because they've defined you so much, for your entire life, and now you're different. Now, I shouldn't say you, now I'm different, and I'm just trying to navigate that and work through my transition period. I'll be very honest as well. I recently had a very scary near-death experience. I literally accidentally almost killed myself. I went into full anaphylactic shock, was alone, choking on my airways, because my airways were closing up. I was foaming at the mouth. I almost died. I genuinely almost died, and that was really hard for me. That's why I had to kind of take a step back for a little bit, and I am going to do an entire video on that. I'm just, it's still really raw, and I don't want to cry online. Been there, done that. I don't want to cry on the internet for thousands of people to see when I talk about this situation, so I'm just letting it settle a little bit, and when it's not so raw, I'm going to come on and give you guys an explanation of what happened. But basically, there are gonna be some changes with the channel. Nothing drastic, but to be honest, I know you guys like the drunk reads, but it's really not, it's not healthy for me to be doing them all the time. So probably just setting a schedule where it's I'm doing the drunk reads maybe once a month, or once every 2 months, and a high read once a month. You know what I mean? Just, I don't want that to be my go-to, because at the end of the day, it's not good for my body. It's not good for my mental health. And I don't want to end up spiraling down a path of addiction for my job, Not that I feel that it's gotten to that point in any way, but I don't want it to, because I, had talked about how I did a hypnosis session, and it made me realize, because we went back into a lot of my past, in the past, I had a lot of trouble with alcohol, but I had a lot of trouble with alcohol at the ages where you're supposed to be out partying, so I don't necessarily ever think I understood that it was a problem, and neither did any of the college kids around me, because it's very much a standard that that's just what you do when you're in college, So I don't want to I don't want to regress. So, like I said, not major changes, just some changes. There's going to be some structure as well. I am no longer working my side job. I was finally able to let that go, thankfully, and now I'm going to be able to be producing more content for you guys, which is exactly what you want. It's exactly what I want too. I am working to secure some better equipment to do that. This is my next step. This is my transition period. I'm taking to YouTube being my my job. which is really exciting, but it is a big step, and it does require certain technology, and it does require discipline. So the changes coming to the channel I think you'll like, because it'll be like, perhaps I upload every Friday, or like every Friday there's a pick a card, every Wednesday there's a live, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be, I have to create a schedule, and I have to create a structure. Also, my Patreon has been like abandoned for almost a year, and I'm going to be getting back to that. There's going to be major changes to the Patreon though, so no harsh feelings if anybody who was using it previously is no longer interested in it with the major changes happening to it. But the schedule that I set up for myself on it previously was extremely unrealistic, and I'm just going to make it more accessible. So that being said, let's talk about some things. So the reason I wanted to make this video was because I was overwhelmed. Like, I want you guys to understand, I'm just a regular girl living a regular life. Like, when I go out, I'm just Nikki, you know? Like, I'm just a girl from a small town in a very small state in America. You know what I mean? I'm just a regular girl, and actually, for the first time recently, I was at the gas station, and I had a guy, like, stop and look at me and pause and, like, stare at me, and I, like, looked over my shoulder, like, who the heck? And then he was like, and then he just kept, like, walking all crazy, and then he was, like, trying to rev his truck and get my attention and shit. So I think that was my first encounter with somebody, like, recognizing me from the internet, which was very confusing, because I was like, what the heck? Like, who is this guy? But it was interesting. But on a regular basis, like, I'm not Duchess. Like, I'm Nikki. Like, that's my nickname. That's my persona. That's who I am. But, like, on a regular day, I'm just a regular girl minding her business, and in a small town, you know? And so when I get these comments from you guys like, I love you so much, I want to be just like you, I wish I could be your best friend in real life, I wish I could know you, like, that's very, like, extremely humbling for me, and very, it fills my heart with joy, but it also makes me say, dang, like, I must be doing something right, because I'm getting the love and admiration of all these very kind and wonderful human beings. So I was channeling one day, and I wanted to channel some tips for you guys to be, I suppose, more like me, but not necessarily, like, I think you guys like me, and you guys have said it time and time again. You like me because I'm authentic. I get that a lot. You like me because I'm myself. You like me because I'm not sitting here saying I'm one thing and then doing another. And don't get me wrong, I'm human. Sometimes I can't always take my own advice, and sometimes I make mistakes. But it's just a lesson, right? My friend Sam was just telling me that, like, you know, it's just a lesson. It's not, like, a mistake is just a lesson. And so, like for example, I'll come clean, like, how I'm always, like, telling you guys, like, don't send nudes, don't send nudes. Like, I recently had a situation where I was sending things that I probably shouldn't have. Was I sending nudes? No. But was I sending appropriate things? No. So, like, I make mistakes too. But I do my best to be honest. Like, even me coming clean about that. Some of y'all are probably like, dang, she didn't have to tell us that. But, like, that's just who I am. And I think that's why you guys like me. But I also think you like me because I'm very happy to be alive. I want to be alive. And there are so many people on this planet, especially right now, in pain, who do not want to be here. I want to make people feel happy to be alive. I want people to enjoy this life while we still have it, to enjoy this human vessel while you still have it, because you're just renting this, baby. You're just renting this for about 100 years, right? So, and the thing about Earth, too, if you understand about other dimensions and other interdimensional species, humans are very interesting to other species, and there's a lot of hatred around the human race that the human race holds for itself, a lot of self-hatred that the other dimensions don't necessarily understand. But it is, as much as you may not feel it, it is a blessing to be born a human, and it is a blessing to be born on this beautiful planet. There are a lot of problems on this planet, but the planet itself is love, and you eternally and internally are love as well. So I wanted to make this video to help you tap into not only your authenticity of who you truly are, but to help you feel alive and to help you feel like you want to be alive, okay? So these are just things, coping skills that I have channeled down to try to help you with that. So let's get into it. My notes, very professional, right? It was just like the marker on this note to self. Okay. Your first tip, get comfortable being alone with yourself. Now, for me, I suppose I'm an introverted extrovert. I love people. I'm that girl, I just went rollerblading last night and I was just talking to all these random strangers. The thing about that though is when you're talking to men and you're just being friendly, a lot of them think you're trying to flirt with them, but it's not like that. It's just so weird. So I'm friendly. I like people. I like to go out. I like to talk to people. I like to be around people. I like people. I like humans. I'm not afraid to say that. There's this huge culture right now of hating humans and hating humanity and not liking people, and that's fine. You can feel that way, but it's gonna make your life a lot harder because your whole life you're gonna be surrounded by people and humans. That's just how it is. So better to just have fun. But even though I love people and I love social time, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I'd rather spend time by myself than with someone else. And I would much rather spend time alone than I would with someone who I find to be a subpar energy or someone who I don't necessarily connect with. I don't like having to be in charge of other people. I don't like you know what I mean? If you're out and you have to keep track of someone else. I don't like having to buy off of someone's time. If I'm ready 10 minutes before I'm supposed to be somewhere, I don't like to have to worry about if the people or person that is going with me is going to be 10 minutes late. I just would rather, I have come to understand in my life that the only thing I can control is me. So a lot of times it's just easier for me to be by myself and control myself and the situations that this self gets into than to kind of muddy that energy up by having to keep track of someone else. Now, I never used to be like this. Sorry, low power mode. I never used to be like this. I was extremely codependent, when I was in my abusive relationship, and I did nothing alone. So I have spent the last almost 4 years alone, completely single, flirting here and there, but completely single, just taking care of myself and doing things alone. And I have to tell you, I enjoy my company over anyone and everyone, and I feel like that's the first step. And I wrote here, hermit mode, deep reflection. So when you're spending time alone, it's actually spending time with yourself. It's not just and I do this too. I'm not, like I said, I'm not perfect. I have days where, I just binge YouTube all day, or I listen to podcasts all day. That's all well and fine, but there needs to be times where it's just quiet. There needs to be times when it's just you and you, you need that hermit mode and you need that deep reflection to figure out who the fuck you are and what the fuck you stand for, and do you even like the person that you are right now, Immerse yourself in other cultures and to have more empathy and really feel for them. So I feel like a really good example that I'd like to share is me getting the box braids. I did it for spiritual reasons because my guides told me they needed me to have some antennas to better speak to me with. So I created antennas on my head through the box braids. Ever since I was little, I always admired them on my classmates or my friends. I thought they were really, really cool and beautiful. And whenever I would have mental breakdowns, I would braid my hair really small into little braids. Very badly, of course, but it's something that helped me cope. because I could hear spirit better. So I got the box braids as part of my, you know, spiritual journey, and I have to tell you, I have a lot more empathy for people who wear their hair like that for most of their life, or for large pieces of their life, because I knew it was going to be heavy and I knew it was going to be painful, but there were a lot of things that I didn't know, that I wasn't aware of either. And this is not me knocking the braids at all. I loved them. They did amazing things for my hair. That's the other thing. It's not necessarily about the color of your skin or your, you know, your heritage as to whether or not these braids can be helpful to you. It's mostly a protective style for curly hair as I understand it. Don't come for me if I'm not giving the full thing. I'm sorry, it's just how I understand it. And I have very curly and very coarse hair. And I think as long as you have hair that can hold these braids, that you will be okay. It doesn't really actually have anything to do with your race or your heritage, and as long as you're being respectful and it's appreciation, you know that saying, appreciation, not appropriation, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're being respectful, I feel like I would never tell somebody, like, you know, like how I don't want to sound rude, but I guess it is what it is. Like, I'd never tell somebody, you can't dye your hair blonde because it didn't come out of your head blonde. I literally have green hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's a problem as long as you're not being disrespectful, enjoying an aesthetic, or enjoying how can I say this? Enjoying a result, because I got really great results from this spiritual pilgrimage, enjoying a result from another culture. You know what I mean? So it gave me a lot more empathy, because I could understand, like, sleeping is hard. When you have those, like, the first couple weeks, sleeping is hard. You can't get your hair wet. It's just, there are so many, I just have such a different understanding and empathy for those people who have braids, and like when I see the braids, I'm like, wow, like they're beautiful, but I also know that journey that that person's going through, as well as the pilgrimage that is attached to those braids on their head, you know, as well as the pilgrimage that is attached to removing those braids from their head, because that's a whole thing too. But honestly, they did amazing things for my hair. It grew freakishly long, very fast. It got thicker. It's healthier. It's back to life, man. Like, it was amazing for me. But also, like, at this other job I was working with a lot of Turkish people. I was working with Albanian people. I was working with Mexican people, all immigrants. And I was learning about different cultures. And it was really good for me, you know, like it was just good for me to understand other people, and it was good for me to understand the ways in which I'm American that I don't even think about, because it's how I've always been, because it's how I was raised in America. You know what I'm saying? So immerse yourself in other cultures and travel. I know travel is not necessarily an option for a lot of people right now, but when it is, travel. I'll be traveling so much when I can. Enjoy being human. Okay, like I was saying, there's just this culture of self-hatred around humans being a parasite, or humans being a virus, or this or that. We don't have to be, and we can, excuse me, sorry, we don't have to be. We can, and like I was saying, you can only control yourself. You can't, thinking that you can control others, whether it's like telling them how to live their life, or telling them how to be healthy, or telling them just what to do, it's not gonna work. That's codependency, and that's called an illness. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. So if you strongly feel the need to control the people around you, even like I have a really hard time, I'm big on medical freedom, I'm big on my body, my choice, and I'm having a really hard time with the good of the many outweighing the good of the individual. For one, like I said, I'm not trying to be political, but just for one, because that's literally how the Holocaust happened, as well as other really scary things in history. So, but I don't want to get on that. But, yes, enjoy being human, and accept yourself for who you are, and accept that you are human, and we have to stop hating each other. And if you disagree with another human, or another human upsets you, that doesn't mean the whole human race is bad. You know what I mean? But understand too that you're powerful. interdimensional species, they're so fascinated with us. And a lot of times when we are sleeping and we are in the astral realms, a lot of times we are communicating with our star family and other interdimensional beings, and they are asking us, okay, so today you cried. Can you explain that to us? Because a lot of them don't have emotions or feelings like that. You know, they're either high vibrational or they're low vibrational, and they can't relate. So they find us to be very fascinating and interesting, and we're also extremely powerful. We're extremely powerful for so many reasons, and there's so many reasons to love ourselves. So really not only accept that you're human, but love that you're human. Also, enjoy being alive. Like, wake up. Like when I stand in the grass or at the beach, or like when I'm outside and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm alive. When I'm upside down, I'm like, yay, I'm alive. Like when I'm with children, I'm like, yay, I'm alive. Like, just be grateful for your life, because you did choose this. I know that's a controversial thing, but the Akashic records are real. You did set this plan for your life. You did ask to be born. You did choose this. So accept that and own it and enjoy it. Take pride in yourself and who you are and what you believe in. Pretty straightforward. If you hate yourself, how can you be happy to be alive? Take pride in yourself. Take pride in your body. Nurture your body. Feed it good food. Give it good exercise. Give it fresh air. Give it clean water. And I know not every human has the ability to access clean water or clean air or things like that, and that's terrible. And I'm hoping that the world can change. But I can't do anything about that inherently right in this moment. What I can do is be the best version of myself to try and send out an energetic signal that changes the world, that changes other people. Because if we're all vibrating high, we don't have to worry about that. The other thing I'd like to state too is that the money is so disproportionately distributed between the 1% and the 99%, and it's frustrating to think, like, I just need you to understand that if the rich people in the world wanted things to be different, they would be different, because they have the money to make it different. If they wanted people to not be homeless, nobody would be homeless. If they wanted people to have access to food and clean water, people would. So really think about that. They want it this way. So by taking care of ourselves and being the best version of ourselves that we can be, we are setting out an energetic signature that says the earth needs to change. And I just heard Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. I'm starting with the human in the mirror. Okay? Because that's going to send out a frequency that changes the world. And stand in your beliefs. Okay? First of all, figure out, what do you believe? What are your beliefs? What holds true to you? And that doesn't have to be the same as me or the guy next to you or your sister or your fucking long-lost cousin. It doesn't fucking matter. What do you believe? Start looking at this reality. This is your world. This is your life. This is your world. Everyone else is just living in it, okay? Everyone else is just a projection of you and your what's going on internally. Like I said, at the end of the day, the only thing that you can control and the only thing that really matters is you. You're born alone, you die alone, right? That old saying. But seriously, what are your beliefs, okay? And then once you figure out what the fuck your beliefs are, stand in them. Don't back down. Don't be swayed. Don't be codependent. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you. I guess I am telling you what to do, but it's just, these are things that help me. Okay? So once you know what you believe, stand in it. But I want to say it's okay to change your mind too. So say you believed one thing. So let's say you believed this celebrity is a wonderful person. We'll use Ellen as an example. Say you were like, oh, she's so funny, she's so wonderful, she's so amazing. And then you hear all these allegations of her being racist, of her being cruel, of her being narcissistic, of her being abusive, because that just dropped a couple months ago about what a toxic environment the Ellen show actually is. It's okay to change your mind and say, I don't like any of those things, so I guess I don't really like Ellen anymore. That's okay. And it's okay to change. It's okay to change your mind. But if you have a true core belief system, like I believe, what's something that's never going to change that I believe? I believe that pedophilia is not a sexuality. I believe pedophilia is an illness. And that's not going to change. That's not going to change for me. Nobody's going to sway that for me. Nothing is going to change that in my mind, body, or soul. Because I'm that kid that got hurt by that kind of behavior. So I know from a first-hand experience, core to my beliefs, that that's not good for anyone, and that it's very bad, and that it's not a harmless sexuality, and that it's actually really offensive to try and put that into the LGBTQ community, because those people are not hurting anyone. Those people are not doing anything wrong in having a same-sex interest or any other facets of the queer community. Nobody's hurting anybody there. But when you have a fetish that destroys the life of a young being, that's hurtful, and it's wrong, and it's bad. And I don't stand for that. That's something that's never going to change about me, you know? So figure out your beliefs, what you believe. And then once you figure out what you believe, stand in that. And don't let anybody tell you different. Do human things, like going upside down and climbing a tree. You have a body. You have a body. Use it. Have sex. Like, and I'm not saying go have sex with, like, random people. I'm just, like, you know what I mean? Like, things that only, like, a physical body can do. If you are energy, you can't get fucked. If you're energy, you can't climb a tree because you're just energy floating. If you're energy, you can't go upside down because you don't have a body to go upside down in. If you're energy, you can't swim. If you're energy, you can't run. If you're energy, you can't rub sand all over your body on yourself on the beach because you don't have a body to do that. So enjoy all these body things to do. Enjoy eating. Enjoy drinking. Just be like, fuck yeah, I have a body. Like, yeah. And then I said, climb a tree. Climb 2 trees with 3 exclamation points. I said, play with animals. Ooh, animals are like a direct, like when I look at animals and babies, I don't see the difference because they're just direct little balls of source. They're direct little balls of God, of source light, and they're so uncorrupt, and they love you unconditionally, okay? They are unconditional love, and when you can pour unconditional love into a being of unconditional love, that changes the world. That's important. I said, touch moss. Y'all need to touch moss if you don't touch moss. That's some good shit. I got my family on that shit. I used to be that weirdo out there when we were camping and hiking, like, oh, I need to touch that moss, touch that moss. And they'd be like, Nikki, what are you doing? And then I'd just keep touching on moss and be like, come on, touch it. And then once they did it, they're like, oh, that is nice, isn't it? So now when we go out, my dad's like, moss. And my sister and my mom, you know, we're moss touchers because it feels good. And you have hands to do it. Use your hands. I said touch dirt. I'll use this example. When my cousin and her boyfriend came, they grew up in the city. They grew up in New York, and we were, like, all hanging out, and I was like, we need a ground right now. Like, we need to go touch some dirt. I need that. And they were like, what do you mean? Like, they just never, like, if I need to, I will go out and I will grab handfuls of dirt, and I will just touch dirt and rub it all on me because it's important, okay? It's important to ground yourself to this planet because you are a being of this planet. This may not have been your home in another life, but this is your home in this life. And this life is the most important life that you need to live because it's the life you're living right now. It's the life you have physical opportunities to change and make better and do your best with. So it's so important. So go out and touch dirt, grab dirt, really feel dirt. Oh, it feels so good. Get muddy, get dirty. Like, just don't care. And that's why I love spending time with kids because, like, they're splashing in a puddle and getting themselves soaked and muddy. They, like, ate a little bit of dirt and they're, like, cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of energy you need to be on. Don't worry about your nails. Don't worry about your makeup. Don't worry about your hair. Just fucking go out and get dirty because that's part of being alive. I said sit in dirt and get your butt dirty because that's really helpful, really grounding. And also, it's so freeing to just be like if you're like, oh, I don't want to get my outfit dirty. That sucks. Like, I used to wear a lot of makeup and I used to dress very sexually and very, like, hot all the time. it's so restrictive. It is so restrictive. If I can have a free face and a free body to do whatever the fuck I want, it's so much more enjoyable to be alive. And it's so freeing to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get dirt all over the butt of my pants and then maybe go to a restaurant, but nobody really cares because everybody's so wrapped up in their own insecurities, they didn't even notice you got dirt on your butt. Or that you accidentally ate some dirt earlier. You know what I mean? And then I said, be naked. Be naked, okay? There's nothing, like, I don't understand. Like, I understand that a body can be sexualized, of course, but why all the time? It's just a butt cheek, or it's just a boob. Like, this is a cancer running through our minds that we have to sexualize a body every fucking second of the day. And honestly, pole dancing helped me a lot with this because it desensitized me, because even though I'm in a room with people who are all half naked dancing sexually, I could control myself and not feel sexually aroused by that, because I see each person as the individual friend that they are to me. I see them each as this like light, living in their hobby and living in their joy and really being alive, right? And I'm starting to see the, and then too, like when I'm seeing these women do these incredible gymnastics moves on the pole, I'm not thinking, damn, that's a fine ass. Maybe I'm thinking that in the back of my head, but in the front of my head, I'm thinking, that bitch is holding onto the pole with like one finger. You know what I mean? So like, do your best to try and clean that all out. If you watch porn, stop. Because porn is not only extremely addictive, been there, but it also literally reprograms your brain, and it really hurts your brain. Porn is very bad for you. And it's part of the cancer I'm talking about that forces us to sexualize people constantly. So be naked as much as you can. It's freeing and it's natural, bitch. It's your birthday suit, so be naked. And like for me, like when I'm going to the beach, I'm literally being as nearly naked as possible. And I'm not doing that for attention. I'm not doing that because I want to show off my butt cheeks, whatever. Actually, I'm a little bit uncomfortable usually when there are other people around. But for me, it's like I want to be outside and be almost naked. I want to get as much sun on my body as I can. I want to get as much water and sand on my body as I can, you know? And if someone's offended by my butt cheeks, maybe they should just move down the beach a little bit, because where I am, in America, it is not normal to wear a thong bathing suit, but I know in a lot of other cultures it is. But anyway, paint and draw and dance and just move. Move your body every day. Stretch your body every day. Move your joints out. You'll hear all the cracks. Ooh, my boobies. You'll hear all the cracks and you'll feel your hips opening up. That gets your kundalini going up, up, up when you can get your hips moving. Dance for yourself, bitch. Turn off the lights, get in the mirror and dance. Twerk for yourself, bitch. Draw. Like, this is something I've been working on with my cousin, like, because she would be like, I'm not a good drawer. Okay, because you don't draw. Draw. And what is good? What is bad? What is talent? What is not? It's all perception and perspective and someone else dictating to you what is good and what is bad. There is no such thing as good and bad. There just is. So draw, even if you feel like it looks like shit. The more you draw, the better you're going to get. The more you'll figure out your style. The improvements my cousin has made in her drawing in just the last couple months is insane, because she's actually just doing it. Paint. I don't care if it's a masterpiece, just fucking paint. Use your boobs, like put paint on your boobs and make a painting out of that. Like literally do whatever you fucking want, because art is art and that shit doesn't matter. Take your insecurities, crumple them up and throw them the fuck away, because all it's doing is taking away from your quality of life. And stop letting outside sources tell you what is and what isn't. It doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking, all that matters is that you care and that you're having fun, that you're feeling good. And then I put cows. I love cows, just because I was getting pumped, and I love cows. If you know this channel, you know that I talk about that all the time. I'm always like screaming, I love cows, because I love cows. I think it's connected to my starseed origins, but I also feel like I relate to them a lot, because I do feel like the human race is treated like cattle a lot of the time. By the powers that be. The people who make decisions for us really do just look at us as cattle. And the sooner you get that through your head, that these people that say they care about you or say they want to help you, these rich people, this 1%, none of them actually do. Because like I said in the beginning, if they did want to help, things would be different. And if they help you, if they help you, that they would lose their power and control. So don't let them dictate to you what's good and what's bad, or what's talent and what's not, because who gives a fuck what they think? Not me. I don't care if you don't feel like you're good at any of this, with 3 exclamation points. I said, oh yeah, another one. Stick out your tongue. It's fun. Just like being naked is fun. It's fucking fun, okay? Just stick out your tongue. Alright? And also, it's very powerful. Like the goddess Kali, it is dark goddess energy. It is serpent energy. It is powerful, okay? And I also want you to throw up a symbol. When you're pumped, like, what the fuck ever. But just make sure, and let me tell you, this is not evil, this is not evil, this is not evil. It's only evil if you say it's evil. It's only evil if your intention is evil. If I'm having the best time of my life and I am radiating love and I go like this, guess what? I'm healing that symbol. That's why I'm so big onto satanic symbolism and why I talk about Satanism, because satanic symbolism is actually just the symbolism of this realm to be able to manipulate this 3-dimensional reality. So it's been connected to and associated with evil. That's nice. Corn's just being herself, licking her butt back there. It's been connected to evil because they want to scare you away from your power, right? Because if you're in your power, they can't control you and rule over you. So that's why I'm very big into symbolism and taking those symbols and shifting the intuition, shifting the intention with my intention of love and my intention of liberty, justice, and freedom, and my intention of sovereignty, and my intention of peace and wellness and health and love. You know what I mean? So stick out your tongue and throw up a symbol and make sure that you're putting a loving intention into it. And watch how your world changes around you. And then believe in your manifestations. The thing about manifestation is you just have to trust that it's there. It's a lot of faith. And to understand time, so time is happening all at once. The way we understand it as humans is we understand it as a straight line. That time is linear and happening in like one straight line, and that's just not how it is. There's stuff still happening down here. This is where we are in the present, and everything's happening in the future. So it's like it's all happening at once. So you just need to travel into the future where you have what you're trying to manifest, because it's already there, because it's already happening. So just trust it and have faith and let it go. Let it the fuck go. Let go and let God as you perceive God. Universe, light source, man in the sky, whatever the fuck you think God is. Let go and let God. And the last thing here is I said, twerk for yourself in the mirror, bitch, which I already mentioned. But seriously, get that Kundalini rising, and you need to be doing this stuff for yourself. You can't be giving to people all the time. Like, there has to be times that you're just doing this for yourself, because we need to fill our cup too, right? So this kind of went all over the place, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like if you liked it, comment if you've got something to say, subscribe if you feel like it. Excuse me, like I said, I'm just such a burper, but I accept that. I've been a burper since I was a kid, and it was always like a thing that like Nikki just burps a lot and it's really loud. But whatever. In one of my lives, someone was like, burps are healthy in all caps, and I was like, yeah, they are. Oh my god. Saw this like little meme on Instagram that was like, this little boy was like, so he like burst into his dad's room and he was like, so dad, my girlfriend wants to work it out. And his dad was like, okay, like tell me what happened. And it's like this little kid, and he goes, I straight up just told her, love is like a fart. If you gotta force it, it's probably crap anyways. And his dad just started like dying. And he goes, don't tell your mother that. But I don't know, I just wanted to share that with you guys. We were talking about burps, and I thought that was like really funny and witty for a small child to say. And also that he's like, my girlfriend wants to work it out. Because I can remember being that age and feeling like a fucking 40-year-old, even though I was like, I don't know, like 10. But I love you guys. I love you. I'll link my Instagram below. I will put other information down below. And I love you guys. Like I said, I'll see you soon for another pick a card. I just need to get my computer secured, and once I do that, you'll be getting more content from me. I think I'm going to go live later this week, so comment if you'd like to see a live with me, and if you have a day or time suggestion that you'd like to see the live, say you keep trying to catch it and keep missing it, comment it below. I love you guys. I will talk to you very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great night or day. Okay, bye.